What's going on, people? It's Timmy Joe. I'm making videos about computer parts, computers, all upon the internet. And speaking of computers, there's one. How's it going? So, I have a quandary for you. What if you're savvy enough, we'll say PC master race, kind of, you know that it's better than a console. You know that, building a PC is better than buying a pre-built. You know all these things, but maybe you're a little young, or maybe you just don't have the time to figure out what the motherboards and the mega chips, all of how they fit together. But you are definitely somebody that, knows that computer components exist, the value of them, such and such. I've definitely met a few of you out there, over the years, emailing me, asking me for advice for certain things and stuff. So I present to you another option. There are a couple of things you can do, and we'll look at the value of each. You can build your own PC. You can build a pre-built gaming PC from like Amazon or Newegg that will kind of like resemble what I'm about to show you. You could go to a company like Origin, or certain other boutique, computer manufacturers. They can, build up one of their signature computers, typically very expensive. But this other alternative here, I think, is going to ring, good for a lot of you guys out there who are kind of maybe want the first custom-built gaming computer experience, but you're just not ready to assemble the computer yourself. Okay, do it. It's not hard, but there are a few of you out here. So this is from a company. We got a box called 1337pcs.com, elitepcs.com. If you're, but for those of you at 1337 is actually how he wants it said. A company out of Las Vegas that wanted to help gamers out. This is how it came all the way from Vegas. It wanted to help out, the people out there that don't have the wherewithal to build their own PC, but want the the experience of not, just buying a pre-built from Amazon. They want a custom computer, something they can upgrade, something that they can even configure themselves, and then have sent pre-built with like guarantees and everything set up properly. This is a really good thing. So, 1337 PCs. Guy named Tanner, really nice guy. I've been talking to him on email for a couple of months now. He finally convinced me to just accept one of his computers to make a video on it, because he believes that this quality of computer, this quality of experience is something that was lacking in the industry. And now that I've done some research, I kind of I'm on board with it, I believe, because he's not charging that much more than this would cost you to build. I mean, he's got to make some money somewhere, and until he's, making Alienware, levels of, inventory and stuff like that, it's going to be hard for him to get, big bulk discounts and stuff like that. But as much as I build computers, I look for deals and stuff like that. That's what this guy does, Tanner, and he's building computers on his website. Go check it out. Links are in the description. That will kind of get you started if you're not into, building the PC yourself, but you want the experience because you're savvy enough to know the components. So what's inside of this? This is not the lowest end computer they sell. It's a bit, mid-range or below. Ryzen 2600. So 6 cores, 12 threads. So when you go to this PC, it's actually the Ryzen Ponage. And there are Intel variants. You can really get anything you want from this guy. If you want a better case, you get a better case. So you go to this specifically on the website, and it gives you a base configuration of around what this computer has in it. Ryzen 2600, RX 588 gigabytes, an ASRock edition. ASRock B450 motherboard, 16 gigs of RAM. It's the touches, right? So just for a little bit of extra money, he got these cable extensions that make the PC look really good, okay? And he's got a super cheap case here. Like, he's skimping, where you would skimp if you were building a computer like this. So we've got the stock cooler, we've got the stock fans that come with the system, just a cheap RGB in here. There's probably, there's a cable, power it, and there's a cheap RGB controller, so there you go. But he's done all the important stuff. Proper RAM, it's only 2400, but you know, you're paying for what you get for. And it's got 480 gigabyte SSD. You know, that's a little limited for games, but it has the SSD, where a lot of the computers in this price class, if you go and buy them on Amazon or Newegg, are gonna have spinning hard drives, you're gonna have FX series processors, like you can weed them out. But believe me, these computers exist, as I will show you in just a minute. So he builds up the computer about as good as anyone could build this class of hardware. So anyways, let's go ahead and we'll get this thing plugged in, and then I will show you guys what's, you know, good about the price range of this computer. And then you can use this as a way to tinker around with a custom built computer, maybe upgrade it a bit yourself, and it'll give you a jumping off point if you're a little bit too scared, because the parts in here are all very close to what I would, you know, put together in as a professional, what most people would put together as like novices and stuff like that. You know, tempered glass, good, you know, airflow, stuff like that. So you got to think about all that stuff, but I think we can get it done. So let's plug it in, and then we'll see. Elite PCs, you got it going on or what?
Oh yeah.
Alrighty, so I've got her all booted up, and it's got a, well, RGB strip running here. That's what this control is all about. Got a really nice background too, 1337 PCs. I like the idea of 1337 not actually calling it Elite. That would be probably pretty annoying to sort out with most people. I don't know how Elite speak really translates to like most of the world, but yeah, 1337 PCs. Here, we'll bring his website up here, and it's an awfully professional looking website. This is a startup, we'll say, for custom boutique PCs. It's a guy that loved building PCs. Apparently he's got a couple of LAN centers in Vegas where you can go and play video games, and they have like, you know, tournaments and stuff like that, LAN parties. With pre-set up computers, and he figured, why don't I, you know, I've been building computers, I've been selling them, why don't I, you know, actually make an online business? This is something that I'm kind of jealous of. I've always wanted to do this, but, you know, it's not an easy undertaking. You need some capital. You need to, you know, gain business relationships and stuff like that. So if we go on his website here, we see there's the Ryzen Noob, the Ryzen Pewter, the Ryzen Haxor, the Core Noob, you know, so we've got Ryzen or Core based on Intel, and the computer that we're running right now, if we go down here, is this one right here, the AMD Ryzen 5 2600 RX 580, and you go in here and you can pick from a range of cases. Now, that one we're using is obviously $40 case, you know, at Micro Center or whatever. But if you want to go and put, you know, a really decent case around those components, you have a little bit extra coin to spend, you can click on that and it's going to add $100 to add that, you know, half case there, that high airflow Cooler Master case, but you could do it. You know, you could put another air cooler on it if you want. Click that. You can pick a 240 mil AIO cooler or a 360 mil AIO cooler. You want to put a little bit better video card in there? You go down the line, you could pick up faster RAM, you know, and there's not just a bunch of options there. There's options that make sense. You want to boot off an NVMe drive? You can even increase it to a terabyte. You want to add Wi-Fi to it? Overclocking services. This is something you're not going to get with, you know, Newegg buying one of their off-the-shelf pre-built cyber power PCs or something like that. You can actually put certain things on there. Thermal Grizzly Cryonaut, CPU thermal paste, graphics card overclock, CPU overclock, but they're, you know, these actually got overclocking options in there. You know, set profile in the BIOS and comes pre-overclocked. And you know what? I'm sure Tanner by email would, you know, give you advice on, you know, using the overclock, or if there's issues with it, you'd have someone to go to, you know, a point of contact to help you with your overclock. So far, I'm really impressed. Like, he's got a quick start guide that he's printed out that gives you information on changing the name of the, you know, computer, and, you know, definitely, you know, nice to see that he's got some documentation that goes towards it. So here, I'll download Steam and Apex Legends, and just give me a second. I want to show you some other options for you know, computers that you might consider other than this if you've got, you know, $800 to spend. All right, so if you head over to PC Part Picker, you could price this computer out exactly as this. This is all new parts. He didn't, make the, go find used parts to put in these. These are brand new computers. And if we see, we add everything he added, plus I don't even have the RGB controller in here because you can't really, it's not easy to find them on here, but the 2600 ASRock B450, the video card, exact one DIY PC case, you're at 716 before rebates. Then you got to add taxes. Now, of course, his will have taxes as well, but you're only coming in at around maybe $100 more on this base configuration, if that. Well, he's building the PC for you. And, you're getting like a warranty based on how it's built. And if you're not comfortable with it, this is a great place to start. All right, so if you head over to Amazon, this is the kind of computer you're going to find for the same kind of money. So we have the Skytech Dark Angel gaming computer, and this is pretty much reminiscent of this price range of Ryzen 2600. I went through a bunch of them. We have a 6-core, but RX 580, 4 gigabytes. So you're getting half the video memory. 8 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM. That's half the system memory. 1 terabyte hard drive. That's definitely not an SSD. And I bet if we look, well, it's hard. Oh yeah, see, A320 motherboard. So I'm sure it comes with a non-overclockable motherboard. Moving on to like a Newegg deal. Same thing. Skytech again. It's the Archangel, and the same deal. You're getting half the video memory. It's a little bit cheaper here. Half the system memory. You are getting an SSD on this one, so this one's a little bit better of a deal. I would say that case is, it looks a little older. You're hiding a bunch of drive bays there, but this is the kind of experience you're going to get with Newegg. Now, if we go over to a real boutique custom, manufacturer origin here, look at the prices you have to start at. They don't even have budget options. So that's what I really like with 1337 here, is they have a wide range of PCs, going from the low end at Ryzen 1200 here for real cheap, get a 1600, moving it up. Oh, there's a 2600. There's every range of computer, and it goes all the way to the super expensive Intel X series Threadripper or 9900K 3900X. So they've got every range covered. All right, so what do you do with a gaming PC? Well, you game with it. Yeah, my hair is weird. Leave it alone. Anyways, it's been a couple of days. I wanted to play around with the computer before I actually gave it a glowing endorsement and actually game with it to make sure that, it wasn't overheating or there wasn't any issues. Gone off without a hitch. Played some Apex Legends, ran some 3D Mark, ran some Cinebench. Not, expected for what the hardware is. But I figured we'd load into Apex Legends here and I actually just show you the 1080p performance. That's what this computer would be for. In a, pretty heavy online multiplayer game from this year, and we'll see what kind of FPS we're getting. So I'm the jump master, and we're going to land somewhere where we just don't die right away. And we'll see. We're getting 66 FPS while we're up here. All the settings are maxed out, check that out. All right, so yeah, performance is definitely half decent here. That is for sure. Check this out. We'll grab a helmet. Getting 110 FPS at 1080p, maximum settings here in Apex Legends, and we didn't die already, so that's great. So let's see if we can't find some enemies to kill. Ooh, I like that gun. There we go. There we go. 102 FPS. We got someone shooting at me already. Where are they shooting from? Shield battery. Ah, I died already. You can tell though, what the performance is like. 100 FPS. I mean, you could pretty much play this maxed out and run a high refresh rate 1080p monitor with it, right? So yeah, it's just a wonderful PC. Wanted to show you some real life gaming there. Getting 100 FPS. It's, RX 580, you know what the hardware is going to do, but it's a matter of getting it built. It's a great jumping off point, to buy one of these PCs. If you're, a little apprehensive about building it your own, but maybe you're thinking, hey, I'd like to, start upgrading coolers and stuff like that. You can upgrade the cooler on this, upgrade the graphics card, upgrade the CPU. There's lots of room, and heck, over those Amazon and Cyber Power PCs and stuff I was showing you there, this has a Corsair power supply in it. This is all name brand stuff. It's got heat spreader team group RAM on it, so it's not like it's an A320 motherboard, some power supply you've never heard of, some SSD you've never heard of, all jammed in a box. There's some quality components going on here, and I just wanted to give them an endorsement. It's cool to see a startup there with a bunch of friends building computers, and 1337. Actually, we'll head over to their website there, and yeah, it's a great website, all ranges of computers, and if you want to save 50 bucks, heck, you can even get financing through these guys. That's really cool. But if you want to save 50 bucks, you want to go buy one of their PCs, use the code Timmy, watch Timmy Joe. Watch Timmy Joe, and you can save $50 if you want to go buy one of their PCs over there. And I recommend it. They did a really good job. This reminds me of a PC that I would build for sale, except for all the components are new. They don't have, you know, some used Kijiji or Craigslist graphics card and PSU in there, so you know it's good, right? So, you know, warranty and all that good stuff. Save 50 bucks. Watch Timmy Joe, thanks to 1337 or 1337 ElitePCs.com for sending this unit over for us to review, and I recommend them for sure. If you want a jumping off point, you could you know, start with this and learn with the computer you get with them, or maybe you're just too lazy or you're too busy to build a PC. I think this is a good avenue to start for a custom gaming PC over going to those Amazon and, you know, Newegg, you know, cyber power PCs. This is just such a better option, and it gives you that origin PC, you know, kind of experience, but with some guys working out of you know, an office over in Vegas trying to make PCs just because they love it. Some friends, you know, a little startup company. I'll see you guys in another video. Thanks to 1337PCs.com for sending over the unit. And if you want to buy a computer from them, go save some money. Watch Timmy Joe. I'll see you guys in another video. Thank you very much for watching.